Yo, 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 yo. This is your man, Counsel Reg, coming to you again, baby. We're going to learn you something today, as my grandma used to say. So today we're going to talk a little bit about anxiety versus fear and try to unpack them a little bit. But aren't they basically the same? I mean, is this another way of saying anxiety, another way of saying, being, instead of saying fear, and I want to admit to that, to say being anxious or having anxiety? Let's see. First of all, let's unpack what is anxiety, first of all. Anxiety is the mind and body's reaction to stressful or unpleasant or unfamiliar situations. It's a sense of uneasiness or dread, and also apprehension and definitely uncertainty. One I can identify with especially. So is the uncertainty. You may not know, should you do this or should I stay or should I go? You just never know. So at any rate, that's kind of like anxiety. An example may be for you've got that nice little, that fly guy, fly girl, they're coming over to your space, and you're like, oh, you weren't ready for it. You're like, oh, snap, what do I say? You can get the little queases in your stomach. You don't want to look like a boob. And so you get all these thoughts going in your mind and racing. That can create that level of uncertainness and that queasiness that you can feel it physically and also emotionally. Or the boss is calling you into the office. You don't really ever call you in the office too much, but in 15-minute heads up, say, hey, man, I need to see you in my office. Oh, what's going on with this? Is that a big project? Was it something that had happened that came out that I didn't know about or was aware of? So again, you can see where the anxiety shows up a bit. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is in a response of something that's a possible or imminent threat, danger, like that old show back in the 60s, Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
I know it showed my age, but hey, I'm just glad to be here. Just glad to be here. An unpleasant, often a strong emotion occurs. So you can be really get the physical sense of like it. I got to go. Something's gonna happen, man. Your heart's about to burst out your chest, and it can also cause you to mount a very either aggressive posture or one where you're gonna flee, just get out the way. So at any rate, that's kind of one of those, it could be any one of those types of responses. An example might be somebody chase you down the street. Somebody chase you down the street and you're like, oh, and then you're gone because you don't know what they're doing. They're chasing you. That's out of the blue. Or you're out walking on your leisurely walk out there and hiking around some of the hills, some of the mountains, and you're, do-do-do, do-do-do, and then you see, a mountain lion kind of tracking you a bit. And it's like, oh, snap. Look what I saw. And then at that point, those are fear responses because those are things that could be imminent danger. So some of these anxiety and fear responses, first of all, I'll start with anxiety because basically they're about the same, but anxiety responses are increased heart rate. We talked about chest pain. Maybe you can have uneasiness in the stomach, shortness of breath for sure. It can catch your breath. Maybe even chills, things of that nature. And then if there's anything else you're kind of ruminating on, trouble sleeping. Fear, basically those times 10. So if you're a very elevated heart rate, definitely can cause some chest pains. You can really be really hard to breathe, like maybe you lost your breath. So those are some of the examples of between the fear and anxiety in terms of how they look. Now, what happens is that we conflate the two. Now, conflate, you mean what's conflate? Well, basically that's mixing them up. I'm just trying to use that educational, you know what I mean? But anywho, when we're triggered, like for example, if we're triggered or something gives you some anxiety, say it's something that you got into an argument with your spouse or significant other, and it kind of triggered something that happened in the past that from another ex or something like that, and you get up in a defensive posture, almost fighting. You can just stand your ground. I'm just going to let him have it or let her have it and get in there. Or one can decide to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be very defensive. I'm just going to take off and run and get away. I'm like, where did he go? Where did the person go? I take off on the drive, or I just start running through the house and just go lock myself in a room. I'm having anxious moments, but with a fear response. So I've conflated the two. I'm having some anxiety, but I'm choosing the fear response because I've mixed the two together. Now, so what can we do? When feeling uneasy, one of the things we could do is to ask this one question. Try to do this. Ask this one question. Am I about to die? Is there a threat that I'm going to die in this situation? So if you're in with a spouse or what have you, or just with the boss or something with friends, am I going to die? Now, I didn't say that you feel like it. Some of y'all, yeah, but I feel like, no. Literally, could your life be in danger? And if no, then we need to do some thought-stopping techniques, breathing techniques to calm that down. So we take some of the energy and the heat out of that moment, or some thought-stopping techniques that can stop that hamster wheel from flying. Now, if you are about to, something like, hey, this could be imminent danger, run, or holler, let's do something, get out of there, whatever's appropriate for that context. But yeah, that's different. That's off at that point. So anywho, just want to give you the breakdown, the difference between fear and anxiety, and maybe a little thing that you can do. So again, this is your man, Counselor Reg. And again, as we always like to say, it's okay not to be okay, even when you look okay. This is your man, Counselor Reg, out.